There's a type of book on Amazon that makes self-publishers thousands of dollars every single month, and they don't need to write a book full of chapters, hire illustrators, or spend weeks formatting. Once you've created one, it can keep selling all year long with very little maintenance at all. Today, I'll show you exactly what type of book this is, why it performs so consistently, and how you can make money by creating and self-publishing your own version on Amazon KDP. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal a brand new tool that's about to launch that will completely change how these books are created. Hi, welcome to Self-Publishing Central. If you are new here, my name is Caroline, and every single week I share real strategies, case studies, and behind the scenes tips to help you build a thriving self-publishing business. So you're probably wondering what niche, what type of book it is that I'm talking about in this video. So let's just get straight into it. The books that I'm sharing with you today are a type of activity book, and that is maze books. Maze books are a part of the larger activity book niche, which is also in the same category as things like word searches, coloring books, and things like Connect the Dots. But what makes maze books really special is how universally appealing they are. They help children build problem solving and fine motor skills. They're fun and they're screen free, and so parents love them for when they're traveling, when they're having quiet time, or in the homeschool or classroom environment. From a publishing point of view, maze books are what I call evergreen content. That means they sell steadily all year long, not just during a particular season or holiday. Of course, there is always a boost at times like Christmas and gift giving periods, but the real power of maze books is that they just keep selling every month because parents and teachers are always looking for fresh activities. Let's take a look at a few real examples on Amazon right now of maze books that are doing incredibly well, because I really want to show you the potential of this niche. Just a little side note to everyone that's watching, these are real books that you can go onto Amazon and look up yourself. The first book I want to look at is Mazes for Kids. This one has been around for a few years. It has thousands of reviews and a very steady bestseller rank. What's clever here is the simplicity of the design. When we go inside and have a look at this book, we can't see too much of the inside, unfortunately, but each page features large, bold mazes with a clear start and finish point, which is perfect for the younger kids that they're targeting. The cover is clean, it's age appropriate, it uses big, bold, simple fonts that instantly tells parents what they're buying. It's also part of a series, which is a big deal. When a parent buys one and their child enjoys it, they'll often go back and buy the next one. And that's how you build repeat customers through consistent branding and series structure. As I already mentioned, this book has a pretty consistent bestseller rank. At the moment, it's 4,866, which makes it the best-selling self-published maze book at the moment. And we use the bestseller rank to help us determine if a book is popular with Amazon's customers. And with that bestseller rank, the book is estimated to be selling around about 650 copies per day, which works out to be around $4,500 in royalties that this self-publisher receives each month. So pretty good returns from this fairly simple book that was made a few years ago. The next book we're looking at is Mazes for Kids age 4 to 8. This book targets the exact same age group, but notice how it differentiates itself with slightly different color design and phrasing. The interiors are similar, straightforward mazes, small bit of creativity with images, and there is a solution section at the back. What's interesting is how they've optimized their sales page. So just like the last maze book, we looked at things like fun, educational, and screen-free activities all align with what parents are searching for. This maze book has a bestseller rank of 6,015, and this one is selling around 550 copies per month, and it makes around about $2,100 in royalties each month. Something else that's interesting here is the difference in pricing your book just $1 higher. The first book that we looked at only sells maybe 100 books more per month, but because their book is priced higher, they're making double the royalties. Customers aren't always looking for the cheapest book available. The next example I'm sharing with you is another maze book for kids aged 4 to 8. Seems to be a very popular age of child to make maze books for. This is another top seller with hundreds of positive reviews. The interior uses that same clear black and white printing, but the mazes are a little bit more creative on this one. Some shaped like animals and objects. Some mazes are storytelling types of mazes, and this variation helps keep it interesting for kids, and it just shows how small creative touches can set your book apart. This book has a bestseller rank of 32,286, which means it sells around around 200 books in a month, and the self-publisher will receive around about $750 to $800 per month for that book. And the last book that we're going to look at is Totally Awesome Mazes and Puzzles. This one's published by Cottage Door Press. It's a well-known children's brand. It's part of a much larger activity book range, and it just shows the power of branding and professional design. So even though it does include puzzles and activities other than mazes, in addition to mazes, and it is at a slightly higher price point when it's not on sale, it's $12.99, parents buy it because they trust the brand. It's the best-selling maze book overall. That's an important reminder. Your author or your publisher name can become a brand in itself when you're consistent with quality and design. This book has a bestseller rank of 1,289, which means that it's selling around 60 books per day. And as I said, it sells for $12.99, meaning it generates sales of around $800 per day. That is a very good result for a maze book. So the key takeaway across all of these examples is that the most successful maze books are age-specific and clearly labeled. They're simple and visually appealing. They're consistent in design and branding, and they're released as part of a growing series. So what makes a maze book successful? Because there is no point in publishing one if we aren't going to try to make it the best-selling maze book. So let's start with the anatomy of a maze book and one that's successful. Most of the top selling maze books on Amazon follow a few key design principles. First, the format. The most common is 8.5 by 11 inch, large enough for kids to draw comfortably, but still affordable for the self-publisher to print. Second, page count, typically between 70 and 120 pages, depending on the age range and the number of mazes in the book. Third, theme and age range. The best-selling maze books clearly state the age group right in the title. For example, maze books for kids aged 4 to 8 or mazes for kids 8 to 12. And this clarity really just helps parents find the right book instantly. Fourth, difficulty progression. You don't want a whole book all full of the exact same difficulty level of mazes. You want to start off with the first few mazes being quite simple, and then as you go through the book, the puzzles gradually get harder. It keeps kids engaged, and it also gives them a sense of accomplishment as they move through the book. And I even noticed that one of the brands offers a certificate of accomplishment for you to give to your child. And finally, cover design. All the successful maze books use bright colors, bold fonts, and characters or illustrations that immediately communicate fun and educational. The cover sells the experience, not just the content. Now, maze books are evergreen, which, as I mentioned earlier in the video, that means they sell steadily throughout the year. Parents and teachers buy them for homeschooling or schooling, classroom activities and road trips, and even just rainy days at home. However, there is a definite and noticeable spike in the last quarter of the year through October to December as we move into Q4, which is one of the biggest buying periods of the entire year, and parents look for educational stocking stuffers and screen-free gift ideas. That's why the timing of this video is so good. If you start creating your maze books now, you'll be perfectly in time for the Christmas rush. But remember, that's just a bonus. The bigger opportunity lies in the fact that these books just keep selling long after the holidays are over. You can build a stable income from evergreen books that continue to perform month after month. Now, one of the biggest challenges in the maze book niche is that so many of the books just look and feel the same. The few that we just looked at in the examples earlier were all very similar, even down to the colors used on their covers. And I'm not sure if you noticed, they were all published a few years ago. And while these books all do still sell, if you want to build a long-term publishing business, you need to think about differentiation, giving your books something distinct that the others don't have. And it could be time to offer something new, something fresh and unique to the customers in this niche who really have only had the same books to choose from over the last few years. So let's talk about a few ways to do that. Number one, unique themes. Most maze books are fairly generic, but what if yours told a small story? For example, a space adventure where each maze is a different planet, or a rescue the puppy maze. Connecting the puzzles through a theme adds that narrative value, and it helps to keep the kids engaged. Number two, hybrid formats. You can combine your maze puzzles with coloring pages, riddles or jokes, or connect the dot challenges. And a book that mixes two types of activities can appeal to a wider audience. Number three, target specific age ranges, which is what a lot of the maze books do already. But instead of competing in that age 4 to 8 range, what about a first mazes book for kids aged a bit younger, say aged 3 to 5? Or maybe something like extreme mazes for tweens, so targeting the older kids. Those small shifts in difficulty levels can open you up to entirely new customers. Number 4, professional interiors. Avoid just overly complex and messy designs. Make sure the paths in your mazes are clearly visible, consistent line weights are used, and the solutions are accurate. People care about quality. And number 5, strong branding. Finally, build a brand. Give your series a name. Use the same font, layout, and style across every book so that parents recognize your brand instantly. Now, the next part of this video is exciting because it's going to make all of that creativity so much easier. There is a brand new tool launching in just a few days called Best Maze Generator. And what it does is generate completely unique, artistic maze designs. We're not talking about the same basic square-shaped mazes that you see everywhere and that we've seen in those few examples that we looked at earlier. These are intricate, themed mazes. This means that you're going to be able to create maze books that actually look and feel different from everything else on Amazon. So if you've been waiting for a way to publish activity books that stand out visually and creatively, this is it. I will be doing a full walkthrough of the tool on launch day, so make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that video, because during those first few days in the launch period, they do offer very heavy discounts on the tool. So check back in a couple days for that video. All right, now let's just go through a quick step-by-step overview of how to actually create and publish a maze book on Amazon KDP. Step 1, research the market. Before creating anything, look through Amazon's top results for maze books for kids or for whatever age range it is that you're wanting to target. Check what ages are selling best, how many reviews those books have, and what customers are saying in their reviews. Pay attention to complaints. Go down to the 1, 2, and 3-star reviews. Read what they say, because that is where the biggest opportunities lie to create something better than what is already out there. Step 2, choose your niche and your age range. So decide whether you want to target early learners, older kids, or even adults. The more specific you are, the better your keywords and your cover messaging is going to be. Step 3, plan your book format. Choose your book's trim size, which is basically the size of your book. And for the interior, aim for around 80 to 100 pages. Think about your difficulty level. Start simple and then end complex. Step 4, create your interior. Use a maze generator. Soon you'll be using the Best Maze Generator to design your mazes. Add clear start and finish points, consistent line thickness, and enough variety between the puzzles to keep things interesting. And don't forget your solutions section at the end. Number 5, design your cover. Use bright colors and large fonts. Mention the age range directly on the cover. It helps both parents and Amazon's algorithm. And remember, the thumbnail is everything. It's how people first see your book. I would recommend that you have someone create the cover for you. You can find people very affordably on places like Fiverr. Step 6, upload to Amazon KDP. Log into your KDP dashboard and upload your interior and your cover files. Choose your categories carefully and add your keywords strategically. Step 7, price and publish. Most maze books sell for $9.99. You can experiment with your pricing, but make sure you are leaving enough margin after the printing costs so that you're still making a decent profit. And don't be afraid to price higher if you feel your book is worth it, but just make sure it's not priced too high so that you price yourself out of the market. Step 8, market and promote. Once your book is available for sale on Amazon, share it on social media. If you have a website or an email list, maybe offer a few printable mazes or activity pages as a lead magnet to get more people to join your email list. And if you're comfortable with ads, Amazon ads work very well for maze books because the keywords are so simple and clearly defined. If you do want to turn your maze books into a consistent income stream rather than a one-off book, scaling is key. The easiest way to scale is to turn your maze books into a series, a branded series. Once your first one gains traction, release follow-ups using the same branding. Parents love continuity. You can also release those themed versions that target seasons and holidays, like Christmas mazes, animal mazes, space adventure mazes, or summer travel mazes. Just to name a few, these give you multiple points of entry to the same audience. As your series of books grows, start linking them together using your author central page and also buy sections in your books, and that way every new customer can discover your other books automatically. Maze books is one of the most consistent, reliable types of books that you can publish on Amazon. They're evergreen, they appeal to both parents and kids, and they require very little text, very little writing. You really just need to focus on clean design, and good presentation. If you are watching this video around the launch week of the Best Maze Generator tool, this is the perfect time to start, not only because of the upcoming holiday rush, but because it is the best moment to get ahead of the market with fresh, unique designs and also offering something new and fresh for Amazon's customers. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know down in the comments below if maze books are the type of book that you want to get into. And like I mentioned earlier, don't miss the next video. I'll be showing a complete walkthrough of the Best Maze Generator tool and how you can use it to create your first maze book from scratch. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube thinks that you might like these ones too. So please go check them out to learn more about self-publishing your own low and medium content books on Amazon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.